Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, yes, I am flying the blue line flag because I do support the good police, the good ICE agents. I will support them. I will tell you that I will support good ICE agents. I will tell you I do support good police officers. Let me make it very abundantly clear. ICE agents are doing their job. Good police are doing their job to protect and defend. I live in Chattanooga, Nashville, not very far from where I'm at. Nashville is being ran by Antifa. California, Chicago, Portland, Oregon, being ran by Antifa. And every day, these cops and ICE agents have to put on their badge to do their job, to go every day and arrest bad people, and arrest illegals, and arrest criminals that are doing bad things to our cities. And they get a lot of shit. They get name called pigs, alleged gangs, alleged terrorists. They get called all sorts of names. They get called a bunch of names. They allegedly get things thrown at them. They allegedly see things that are terrible. They go through things that I don't think normal human beings could ever deal with in a normal everyday setting and deal with on a 9-to-5 basis. Deal with not just things but people in general, especially in Antifa, alleged terrorist groups. I will be flying my blue line flag in support of good police officers, men and women, including good ICE officers. I will support them because they do earn support. They do earn my support. Not because I'm hateful or spiteful towards anyone, but because those that wear those badges every day and follow and do their due diligence to protect and serve the American people from not just illegals, bad people, and deal with bad shit every freaking day that they wake up and have to deal not only with remembering their oath that they took to serve and protect, but they continue to do it every freaking day. Every day they wake up, they remind themselves, this is the oath that I've taken. And they never break that oath. And that oath is never broken. Ever. And that oath will never be broken by them. Because that is an oath that they take to their heart. And I've met a lot of cops. And I've talked to a lot of cops. And a lot of the good cops that I've shaken hands with in my area where I am, I've seen a lot of them, and a lot of them are broken. Because a lot of them, they don't get asked what really the fuck is wrong with them. Nobody asks them on a personal level what is going on. It's always about what is going on with the citizens, never about them personally. Because cops do have an alleged high unalive ratio, and that sucks. ICE agents have a very high unalive ratio because of their job, and that sucks, and that's not good because of what they go through every day. And cops and ICE agents are forgotten. They're forgotten. They're forgotten about. Nobody asks, what's wrong? And sometimes when somebody asks them maybe what's wrong, they just blow it up and say, nothing. I'm okay. I'm okay. They try to pretend that they're okay because they don't want people to worry about them. Because they try to play strong. Because when they were a boot and they went through training, they were taught to be tough. Kind of just like in the military. They were taught and trained to be very tough and just suck it up, buttercup, and not show the emotions. And sometimes they forget that emotions are okay to go through. That emotions are normal. And cops forget it. And ICE agents sometimes do forget that emotions are a natural, living, human being feeling. And that feelings of emotion sometimes have to be expressed. And what they go through a lot of the time, I don't think a lot of people could ever go through. Hell, I couldn't. I don't think you could either. Having an alleged pew-pew pointed at you every day, or a lot of the times, or allegedly having rape victims, sexual assault victims, having to arrest people that are juveniles, and people that are that are reminding you of your family or your friends or people that you may know. It sucks. And you have to do it because it's your job. Even sometimes they have to arrest their own, and it sucks. But they have to do it because it's their job. Sometimes they just don't ask questions because they know better. Yes, there are bad cops out there that make good cops look not so nice. But a lot of the bad cops don't make the good cops look good, because the bad cops are doing the bad things, and yes, the bad cops should get punished for it, but sometimes they allegedly don't, and sometimes they do. And sometimes there are things that happen that should not happen. And sometimes, yes, some cops do remain silent when certain things allegedly happen within their own team, because they're allegedly scared of repercussions, because they allegedly don't want to have to get the end of the shift, the end of the stick for saying something. And I can understand it, because they're scared, because that's their job, that's their livelihood, that's their pension. And that's what their family relies on, is paycheck. That's what they're being paid to do, is go into the 9-to-5 job, go in, go out, clock in, clock out, and hope to God to come back home to the family. And it's a hard job. And sometimes they just don't want to see shit that they have to see in their own district, in their own precinct. but sometimes they can't ignore it. But sometimes they do. And it sucks. But cops need the love too. Cops need to know that, yes, we do pay attention to them. Good ICE agents need to know, yes, we pay attention to them. Cops need to know that we are out there. And we do watch them. And we do support the good ones. That we do know that it's okay to cry sometimes. That, yes, the media does sometimes portray them as not so nice. And that's not how it should always be. That cops are not as evil as the media tells us they are. Because the media doesn't tell us the truth. They lie. Media wants us to think they're cops. Nobody's going to give a fuck. But they're human beings. Like I said, when they take off their badge and they're off duty, they're civilians. They may be off duty, but they're still civilians. They may not be on the clock, but they are like us. They got a family, a wife, a kids, a 9-to-5 job. They pay taxes. They do what we got to do the same way. They work hard. They bust their butts. But damn it, they do the best they can. And they deserve a thanks, at least for it, I think. But they don't get that thanks. You don't hardly ever see them get thanked. You don't hardly ever see them get a handshake. All you see is people harassing them, bullying them, allegedly throwing things at them, calling them names, degrading them, belittling them. Telling them how evil they are. Just because they're doing their job. Just because they have a badge does not make them an evil person. Just because they wear a badge doesn't make them different than us. If I wore a badge, that doesn't make me no different. Sure. Guess what? If I wore a badge, I'd be the same as you and everyone else here. But it just means that I'm deputized to follow the law and protect the Constitution and do my job to protect the citizens of my county and my territory. That's my job. And I would do it by God. I would do it with all due diligence. And I would make sure I do it 100% the correct way. And I would do it proudly, because that's what I need to do. That doesn't make me different. Sure, it'd make me a little different because, yes, I have a badge and it would be legal and I would have to do a job, but there's not a lot of differences between me and them. They just work for the government. We don't. They have higher ups. They have different things they have to do than we do. They have rules and regulations they got to go through. Kind of like we do. We have rules that we got to follow. They have rules they got to follow. So think about that. Next time you see a cop, shake the cop's hand. If you see a cop just sitting out there in the car or walking past you, shake the cop's hand. Thank that police officer for doing their job. Buy him a cup of coffee or a soda or a donut or whatever. Or maybe a lunch or something. At least thank that cop for doing their job. Because you never know. Because maybe one day that cop might be the one cop that saved your ass from trouble. And that might be that cop that you might be looking up one day at. Remembering that cop. That you bought that cop lunch or something. And that cop will always remember it. Whether or not that cop sees you again, that cop will remember. That cop will always remember what you did. The kindness, the gesture of humanity that you spread for that cop will always be there in that cop's heart, because that cop knows that you've cared enough to have the decency to do something once in your life to thank them, instead of being an ignorant little prick and being judgmental towards them. So I ask a lot of conservatives, in honor of the good police, the good ICE agents, this year, let's raise our Blue Lines flag proudly. Let's go out and thank our police officers, men and women. Let's support them. In support of ICE agents, in support of the cops out there, and to all of them, and to the FBI, to the CIA, we thank you. We thank you for your service. We thank you for everything you have done for us. Past and present, we thank you. We want you to know that we thank you. And we do care for you. For honoring your oath. For America. And not just America, but for the people. For we the people. We do stand behind you. And know that we the people will always stand behind you. And we will never stand against you. We will stand behind you. As long as you stand with us, we will always stand with you. God bless you all. And God bless our presidents. God bless our troops. And God bless the men and women that are in the blue line and the first responders. God bless you all.